Hey, how's it going, guys? Welcome back for another Q&A session. Right, so this is a very overdue Q&A session, right, from the month of August. Right, so forgive me, I was at Langkawi. After that, I have to be prepared for school, right, which is the reason why this Q&A session has been delayed for so long. Right, so without further ado, let's get on to the first question of the day. Okay, so first question of the day asked by Victor. Right, Matt is making stages more and more difficult as they release better cards. Right, any advice, tips, tricks you can give for new players? And should Matt introduce a trading system for cards, that way dupes can be traded for other cards? Alright, so the first part of the question, right? So tips and advice, right? So this might be consuming a bit of diamonds, right, for free to play players, but try to farm bi-weekly cards that looks useful. Alright, so how I categorize a bi-weekly card that is being useful is their active skill is really unique to its own series, right? For example, take a look at a bi-weekly card that actually like a boost fire team 2.5 or ×2, right? You have booster card everywhere, right? So it's not really a unique bi-weekly card there. Right, so let's take a look at examples like maybe 1 week ago or 1 month ago, we have this like bi-weekly card that actually launched 20 times attack, right? That active skill. Right, so this is a very unique kind of active skill, right? That actually allows you to bypass like 15 hit shield, 20 hit shield kind of mobs or boss, right? And then you can see nowadays they start to release more unique bi-weekly cards that other cards do not actually have this sort of active skill, right? So farm all these cards, right? Get them to the lowest CD possible, right? Which is the max skill level, right? And then all these over time, you might pull out all these old cards and realize, oh, I can actually use this for this stage. I can actually use that for this stage, right? It'll make your TOS journey a lot smoother, right? So like, take the effort to max out bi-weekly cards, right? That's the only advice I can actually give for you guys. Right, for trading system, I don't think they will ever do that. I think I've answered this before, right? Reason being, people can just simply start a new account, draw something good, trade, right? So I think it's gonna be a very broken system, right, if they ever introduce trading, right? That's for sure, right? So with this, move on to the next question. Okay, next question. What are your thoughts on the new 7-star card Maya? Many people are complaining the same issue with Quantos and Erebus, shit multiplier, unable to store skills. Right. Also, I heard rumors that Tan San Zhang and the other 7-star Earth card, right, Iron Fan Princess, won't be returning. Is it true? Okay, so first and foremost, let's address Maya. Right. So Maya, this card, yes, I agree that it's a bit underwhelming compared to all the other black cards, right? Because it is light attribute, a lot of people would compare it with Tan San Zhang, right? Obviously, they are both of different playstyles, so we can't really compare them, right? But in terms of damage output, Tan San Zhang definitely is better than Maya, right? Also in terms of stability, because Maya is more like a Greek kind of play style, right? You can sometimes you can rack up to maybe 40 plus combos, sometimes maybe even less than 10 combos, right? So anyway, something for you guys to note, right? Maya, right? Madhead have heard your cries, your complaints about Maya being too underwhelming, right? There's a buff that Madhead has been discussing, right? Within the team themselves, they are planning to buff Maya in some way, maybe stats wise, maybe passive wise, team leader, active skill wise, who knows, right? But all I know is a buff for Maya is coming up very soon, right? So you guys won't be complaining about Maya too much after the patch drops, right? After she get buffed, hopefully, right? So anyway, second part of the question, Tan San Zhang, Iron Fan Princess, are they coming back? Most likely, right? Because it's an event that actually Madhead can earn money from, right? Why won't they bring it back in the first place, right? So one possible time that Tan San Zhang and Iron Fan Princess is coming back would definitely be Chinese New Year, because that's their theme kind of draw, right? They are the Journey to the West kind of cards, right? And then another possible time that they will be back is another black card event. Right, so next question. Alright, so next question comes from Wesley Lim, asking how do you stay motivated to keep playing TOS, especially when it gets boring. I feel like TOS is a chore nowadays and it's getting really boring for me. However, I do not want to uninstall the game since I wasted so many days worth of time on it. Alright, so first and foremost, me personally, I play TOS as a hobby, I would say, right? And then I don't think I've ever gotten bored of TOS. I felt a bit burnt out, maybe, right, from farming too much cards. Like for example, the Defense Dragon power release, it was a pain in the ass trying to rack up those skill levels, right? But nonetheless, it's not really a chore. I don't really feel bored doing it. I do it because I want to, right? So if you play the game and you feel like it's a chore to do it, then you might as well just uninstall the game because you're not having fun, right? Games is all about having fun. Okay, so, and when it gets boring, right, this is the part that I don't understand, because me myself as a player, I pretty much cleared almost everything in the game, right, other than maybe the Void Realm, the new Seal 8.5, and maybe just the Pili Puppet extra that I haven't done, right? There is actually still stuff for me to do, right? So if you guys haven't really complete all the seal, haven't complete all the Traveler's Memory, you are not actually done with the game, right? There is definitely something for you guys to do. So it's not that you don't have things to do, you just choose not to do it, right? In my opinion, right? So with this, let's move on to the next question. Okay, so I guess this is pretty much like a mandatory question that I need to answer every single Q&A session. Alright, so Darren asking, what's your prediction on the next series to get power release and amelioration? Alright, so I guess this Q&A session is a bit late. Alright, so I was about to guess Descendant of the North, right, which is true, by the way, right? Descendant of the North is getting power release next, upcoming patch 14.1 probably, right? So since I did this Q&A session a bit late, right, let me guess something after Descendant of the North, right? So most likely, I feel that it's time Primal Greed gets its power release, right? So it is really between Origin of Demons and Primal Greed, right? The reason why I chose Primal Greed is because Origin of Demons have gotten their costume, right? Alternate outfits or whatever you want to call it. And Madhead, knowing Madhead style, right? A series that gets a costume, right? They're done, right? They're not going to get any sort of advancement whatsoever, right? Example, let's take a look at the newborn elves, right? Margaret, the Queen Bee, Isabel and stuff like that, gotten their Christmas outfit, they're done, no power release whatsoever, right? And then this is confirmed by Madhead, right? Anything getting a costume is not gonna have any sort of evolution or power release or whatsoever, right? So RIP Origin of Demons unless they decide to power release it after, I don't know, whatever, right? So Primal Greed, fingers crossed, because I want that power release Ether. Yeah. Okay, so with this, let's move on to the next question. I just got Ophelie, but I can't think of a good setup for him at all, right? Which setup is best for God and Elf team? The attribute could be varied. Okay, so Ophelie is a very, very interesting kind of gameplay, firstly, alright? So secondly, God and Elf, they are both, usually when there is a gameplay that consists of restricted races, right? For example, like gods, humans and dragons, whatever mix and match, right? I would say that typically I would say that this team is okay. It's not very versatile and stuff like that, right? But Ophelie though, God and Elf, these two races have the most utility cards in the game, right? Which is what makes Ophelie still versatile despite having just 2 races, right? So Ophelie, personally, right, I run Ophelie with AR Gemini because of its massive attack, right? If you have Anubis, slot in that Anubis, right? 七天地, slot in the 七天地, right? I prefer running a mono Earth Dark or go Earth Water, right? I feel that these 2 combination is very, very well used together, right? So one way you can do is Earth Dark, right? As I mentioned, Ophelie, you can slot in AR Gemini, you can slot in Anubis, right? Elves, Dark Elves, Earth Elf, right? Whatever utility you can actually slot in, you can actually just slot them in, right? You need at least 1 elf though, right? So take note of that. So for the Earth Water combination, right, as many Andromedas that you have, just slot all the Andromedas in, right? So personally I have 2, right? So I'll go Ophelie, Andromeda. I can put in a Pupuro if I want to, right? For the extra burst, you can put in Hercules, the recent one, which is a very, very good card as well. And there you go, Earth Water setup, right? So Natty, give that a try, right? Let me know if that works. So with that, let's move on to the next question. Okay, so next question comes from Evelyn, asking your opinion on this craft. Okay, this image is a bit too small, let me just enhance it. Okay, so this is the image that Evelyn attached. Right, so if you guys want to ask me questions with screenshots, you can actually do this as well. Alright, so Evelyn asks your opinion on this craft. Right, so after Dragonic Compulsion turn runestone that are most into hard runes. Damage received minus 80% for 1 round. Elf attack increased for 50% for 1 round. Right, so I'm not sure whether this is a custom craft or it's just a craft in general. Right, most likely it's just a craft in general because I see these like blue diamonds at the corner. Right, custom craft have yellow. Right, so back to your question. This craft most likely played for, I'm not sure what kind of craft is it. Right, whether it's just an elf craft or whatever specific race, right? You need to let me know about that as well. Right, so most likely you're gonna use this on Lucy team, right? If Lucy is still, you know, your cup of tea, you know, your kind of play style. Right, so the reason why Lucy is the most efficient in using this craft is because after Dragonic Compulsion, which is after your Dragonic Burst, right? You still have that attack bonus, and that's most likely gonna take down that current round or battle that you're dealing with, right? So after that, turn runestone that are most into hard runes, so that's gonna prep your board for pretty much the next round as well, right? So Lucy uses hard runes to attack. That is actually gonna give you a decent amount of hard runes for the next battle, right? So damage received minus 80%. So for some reason, I think this is the most useless effect out of the entire craft. Right, so by activating Dragonic Compulsion, you pretty much should be able to kill, right? Unless it is invisibility shield, or for some reason you are using this craft to actually reduce damage. Alright, so other than that, effect 2 is not really going to be used, in my opinion. Alright, so effect 3, elf attack increased by 50% for 1 round. Right, so this is where your Lucy team attack, Lucy, right? Because mono elf, your whole team attack is going to get a buff by 50%. 50% is a lot for Dragonic craft, right? And then the only elf that actually utilize attack, right? The classic one, Lucy, right? Now we have Andromeda and stuff like that, but Andromeda, yes, you can use this craft, but effect 1, not really usable, right? Effect 2, not really usable as well. So the most the team that gets the most out of this craft is a Lucy team, in my opinion. Right, so very nice question there, right? With attachment, screenshot attachment, right? So with that, let's move on to our last and final question. What's your opinion on the best and worst black card and why? I knew this is gonna come like at some point of time. Asking the ranking or how you want to rank all the black platinum cards, right? So basically, the black platinum cards right now currently we have 6, right? We have the fire water yen, we have the Tiesan, Iron Fan, Tan San Zhang, Anubis, as well as Maya. Is that 6? That's 6, right? That's 6. Okay, so black cards, right? Pretty much you can split them into 2 categories. One is the super burst kind, one is the more not so big burst, but it is a very stable kind of team setup in a way. Alright, so let me rank this in terms of tier. Right, so tier 1 on its own definitely is going to be Tan San Zhang right at the top. Right, so Tan San Zhang is one of the cards that I've totally underestimated its power. Right, so initially when I see Tan San Zhang is basically going to match all the attacks, all the recovery, it's such a it looks very lame, right? But when you actually put the proper cards into a Tan San Zhang team, is monstrous amount of the attack. Right, so the typical Tan San Zhang setup is to put Minamoto's fusion form, right, to get that high amount of attack, and then maybe you slot in a Merlin for that extreme super high recovery, right, and then maybe Colin is a very decent Tan San Zhang team, right. So nowadays people put the serious brother fusion, right, because the attack is higher than Minamoto's fusion, right, and on top of that, the 2 serious brother active skill, right, is totally usable in the Tan San Zhang setup, right. One to clear off the board other than light runes, and then the other one converts the full light board. Alright, so Tan San Zhang, hands down, number 1 black card, right, all the way at the top of the chart. Right, so number 2, second coming in second, I'll pretty much rank it like Anubis, Fire Yen together. Alright, so reason being, Anubis can be used as a leader. It's a very good leader as well. It's a very very good member as well. Right, so Fire Yen, leader, very good. Member, also very good. Right, you can use it in a Chesia team, you can use it on a Hephaestus team, whatever. Right, it's pretty much like a second Medea. So if I have a Medea and you put in a Fire Yen, it's just times 2 burst, times 4 burst. Right, so these 2 cards pretty much very high damage output and very very valuable. Alright, so you can just consider them as a tier 2 kind of black card, right, or maybe a tier 1 excluding Tan San Zhang. Tan San Zhang is on a level on its own. Okay, so after that it comes in maybe the Iron Fan Princess. What am I missing? Iron Fan Princess and yeah, Iron Fan Princess. Right, so let's talk about Iron Fan Princess for a bit. Right, so her active skill overpowers fire. Right, means that Earth is actually effective against fire attribute enemies. Right, so basically if you have Iron Fan in your mono Earth team, you literally have no weakness. Right, because you deal normal damage to all the other attributes, and on fire and water, you do extra. Right, so you literally have no weakness on your team. Right, so Iron Fan Princess is a very very good Earth kind of member. Right, leader not so much, right, but for member is super super valuable. Right, I miss my opportunity on that card, so when it's back, I will draw it. Okay, so after that come to the lower tier. Right, the next tier, I won't say lower tier because they are still good cards, but not as good. Water Yen and Maya together. Right, so these 2 cards are more of stable setup, right, instead of the super burst kind. Like Maya can be Maya damage can be higher than Water Yen, to be honest, right, but they are more on a high stability category instead of the super burst kind. Right, so what I mean is Water Yen, usually Water runes have the effect of heart runes. Right, so a very very common member to go with Water Yen would be Wenzhong. Right, he locks down the heart runes, convert it to water, dissolve water, you heal as well. Right, and then after that you damage the enemy. Right, so in turn you have damage plus high recovery. Right, so this is a very very stable setup over there. Right, Maya, literally 3 colors having effect of heart runes. Right, or I got confused back there. Right, so anyway, still very, very high recovery, right? So in any case, you have super big sky drop, right? Your damage, you can still do very high spike damage, right? So, but it's not very stable, which is why I rank Maya pretty much the same as Water Yen, right? But both of these card recovery are very, very high, right? So if you have decent amount of HP, you pretty much can't die, right? Maya is still pretty much RNG, right? But Maya damage slightly higher than Water Yen, right? Water Yen's stability in terms of recovery is slightly better than Maya, right? So they are pretty much the same, but both of them are a bit lacking in terms of damage compared to the rest of the cards, if you know what I mean. Right, so this is how I rank all the black cards, right? If you agree with me, you know, let me know, right? If you do not agree, let me know as well. Right, so with this concludes today's Q&A session. Right, so once again, I apologize for the super late video, right? Hopefully it's a fruitful Q&A session for you guys. Right, so before I end off my Q&A session, there is one more announcement that I want to make. Right, so I know that you guys, most of you guys are enjoying the entering the Void of Realm, right, gameplay, which is the seal 8.5, the throwback seal. Right, so because this seal is longer than I expected, right? More and more chapters is coming out, and I am unable to catch up with it. Right, so what I'm gonna do, because of my busy schedule in school as well, right? What I'm gonna do is just to upload the key battles of the seal, right? Meaning those with the super high HP or those that really require some sort of key teams to clear, right? Then I'm gonna record those. For example, what I've seen so far is the Stone Inscriptor battle and whatever super high HP battles, right? I'm just gonna upload those, right? So if you guys are okay with that, let me know in the comments below as well, because I don't think at my speed I'm gonna reach the end of the seal, right? It's gonna be too long, right? I know that's gonna drag out the number of episodes as well, right? So for your viewing pleasure, let me know, right, if it's okay to just post the main boss battles of the entire story mode. Right, so with this, that's all for this Q&A session, right? Hopefully you guys like it. If you did, then as usual, see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.